Hi, thanks for checking out another one of our videos here. This is going to be a little show and tell video on this particular unit and brand. This is a PARMAK Mark 8. This is a 30-mile unit. It's like a 3 joule, give or take, unit. Anyways, we get quite a number of these coming for repair. You know, they've been around for quite a while with this model. You know, about 12 years, 10 years at least with this Mark 8 model. And they make an SE5 and a Mark 8. And their older ones, the previous generation, called Mark 7 and a SE4, they were metal case, but they were digital readout like this. They also make a larger unit called a Range Master, which is 2 sizes bigger than this one. But what I'm making this video for, because we get this call and email probably monthly, where they've got a PARMAK unit that's been manufactured within the last 3, 4, 5 years. I think about 2019, give or take, is when they made some changes to the digital readout units. And they don't explain this in their manual. I don't think they do. If they did, either people aren't reading the manuals, or they don't explain it at all in the manuals, or people aren't understanding. But anyways, what I get these calls about is they'll have one of these units that's fairly new, 6 months, a year or two old, and they'll call me up or text me or email me and say, hey, I've got a PARMAK unit. My numbers are flashing real fast, and it's still clicking. It's showing like 12 or 13 or whatever the numbers is on the front, but they're flashing real fast. And I said, what's that mean? I didn't know what it meant about 4 years ago. I didn't know what it meant when they made some changes to their circuit boards with these digital readout units, and anything that we fix that's older than that, we put the new set of boards in it. It's going to have the newer system of boards that they make now. And what that flashing light means, a flashing display means, is your ground system isn't adequate enough. And maybe it didn't flash last year, but maybe it is now. Well, maybe it's a little drier now. Maybe the ground's not as good as it once was. Maybe whatever the issue is. Basically, this thing's detecting that the ground voltage is higher than what it needs to be, and is just warning you, say, hey, your ground voltage is a little high. You need to add some more ground rods. So that's why it's doing that. It's just warning you, telling you that your ground system isn't adequate enough, and add some ground rods. And it's not going to, you can have 6 ground rods if you want to. These things probably only need like 2 or 3. Just make sure that they're good, either good copper ones or good galvanized ones. If you go galvanized, it's probably a better way to go. And if you can get some good galvanized ground rod clamps, as well as just some leftover electric fence wire that comes out of the hot side of the charger. And you want the ground rods, most of them are 6 to 8 foot long. You want to drive them in the ground as deep as you can, leave a little bit sticking out so you can clamp onto it. And you'll run a single strand of wire to go from the first rod to the second to third, and so on. But you want them about 10 foot apart. You don't want them super close. You don't want them 3, 4, 5 foot apart, but you don't want them 15, 20 feet apart. 10 foot seems to be the magic number. Is what most manufacturers recommend. And so that's what you're going to have to do. So if you've got a PARMAK unit that's flashing the display, but it's still clicking, it's probably working, but you're probably losing some of the power that you paid for, as you're losing some of it down the ground side. So it's warning you, say, hey, you paid for a 30-mile unit, but you're only getting 15 miles worth of charge on your fence, or whatever it's, whatever it's thinking. So what you do is just turn the charger off. Go, if you've only got one ground rod that's 4 foot long, it's 8 foot in length, pound that thing down in there deeper. If you can't get in the ground, take the clamp off, cut the ground rod in half, I guess, leave a little bit sticking out, and take that other second 4 foot chunk and drive it in the ground, still 10 foot apart. Sorry, but that's what that means. So the better the ground system is, the better the whole system is going to run. Then you're going to get more power at the fence, better shock on the fence, better performance out of the fence charger. I don't think you're going to hurt anything by not having a good enough ground system, possibly, but it's definitely not going to get as good a shock as you paid for with whatever unit it is. So if you got a PARMAK Mark 8 or SE5 or a Range Master that's been built since about 2019 or newer, and it's doing that, or if you got one that is like 10 years old, like a Mark 7 or an older Mark 8 or an SE4 or an older SE5 or a range mesh that's been repaired by us or somebody else, and it's doing that, that's because they got the newer boards installed, and that's what some of the features that it's got built into it now. Because you would be flabbergasted, I guess would be the right word, how many phone calls I get where they're either asking about this flashing signal, flashing display, or just for fence troubleshooting. They'll call and say, hey, my charger just ain't working very well. I can barely get not very good spark out of the thing. The voltage isn't very high. I said, if you watched your fence, I've watched the thing, 30 times. Check the charger by itself. Yeah. Put the tester right across the charger, and it shows, 8,000 volts or whatever. So, well, the charger's fine, I guess. So you've got to, if you walk the fence, can't find a lick of problem anywhere, and unless you miss something, it's probably going to be your ground system. And people hate hearing that, but that's, I would say 70% of the problems, if the unit's fine and you can't find nothing on your fence, 75% of the time it's in your ground system. I mean, it could be some little quirky issue inside the unit, possibly, but always check your ground. Make sure don't use rebar, don't use an old metal T-post, because all that stuff rust, and make sure it's galvanized rod, galvanized clamps, leftover electric fence wire, some 14 gauge stuff, or you can even use aluminum fence wire if you want. Just don't try to mix copper and galvanized stuff together. They naturally corrode each other through electrolysis, and when it's outside in the weather, that moisture in the air and rain and everything, snow melt, that accelerates that, so then you're getting even more trouble, I guess. And if you use copper ground rods, make sure you use copper clamps. You'll have to use some 14 gauge fence wire. You don't need big heavy gauge like 8 gauge copper wire. You don't need nothing like that. There's not a lot of amperage on the ground side, so you don't overthink it. And if you use copper, that has a tendency to, over time, to tarnish and get that green crust, coating on it, and then that inhibits the grounding as well. It's the same as rust on a piece of rebar. So yeah, just do yourself a favor and don't skip out on the ground system. Ground rods are only $15, give or take a couple dollars. So you'll be scratching the head with a bunch of headaches, and then you'll be wondering why it's not working right. Well, you should have spent the extra $35-40. You got 3 ground rods versus 1. Then you'd be in good shape. Well, there you go. But yeah, you see it kind of flickering and flashing real fast, and that's because the ground system isn't adequate enough. So there you go. Well, that's it for this little video. Hope you like it. Hopefully that explained a few little things for you. There's information right here if you ever got a fence charger that needs worked on. Be happy to help you out. Till next time, see you guys later on.